Okay, so our today's topic will be viscosity and surface tension. Okay, see, in our previous classes, we have learned how gases can be liquefied. We have learned about critical temperature, critical pressure, and also learn about critical volume. And from this chapter, that means states of matter, the last two topics are surface tension and viscosity. So let's see what is surface tension. Okay, so surface tension. Liquids are showing very interesting property, and that interesting property is actually known as surface tension. Okay, the liquids are showing us very interesting property, and that interesting property is actually known as surface tension. And this surface tension is because of the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, this surface tension only, this surface tension occurs actually because of the intermolecular force of attraction. Like, suppose if I take a jar, and in the jar, suppose I have taken water. Okay, the molecule which is present, okay, in the bulk, that means that molecule which is present in the middle of the beaker or middle of the jar. Okay, so that molecule will feel attraction from the neighboring molecules. Because of the intermolecular force of attraction, the molecule which is present in the bulk will feel the attraction by the neighboring molecules. Okay, this molecule feel attraction from this side, this molecule will feel attraction this side, from this side, from this side, this side, this side, this, and this. That means, okay, so as it feels attracted from to all the side, okay, that is nullified. If a molecule feel attraction from this side, again it feel attraction from this side also, these two nullify each other. Same way, if this molecule feel attraction from this side and feel attraction from the opposite side, that is nullify each other, because it was surrounded by various liquid molecules. Okay, but if we consider a molecule in the surface, but if I consider a molecule which is present in a surface, that is a surface molecule, then what happened? Then what happened? If I consider a molecule from the surface, so at this side, this above the surface, no water molecule is present, air is present. So this molecule will feel attraction downward. Okay, this molecule will feel attraction downward. Yes or no? So we can say that this downward attraction is because of the intermolecular force of attraction. This downward attraction is also because of the intermolecular force of attraction. Okay, because the molecule just below this molecule, this below the surface molecule, will try to attract the molecules towards the bulk. That means it will feel an inward pull. It will feel an inward pull, so that we can say that the total surface of a liquid, okay, total surface of a liquid will be in a tension because of this imbalance force. That means will be in a pressure because of this imbalance force. This force is imbalance, right? Force is imbalance, so they feel actually they feel imbalance force. And because of that, the surface of a liquid is always remain in a tension. Okay, and this effect is called surface tension. This effect is known as, see, surface tension. Okay, so let's see. So what is surface tension? See, here, surface tension of a liquid is defined as the force acting at right angles to the surface along 1 centimeter length of the surface. So this is the definition. Okay, the surface tension of a liquid is defined as the force acting at the right angles to the surface along 1 centimeter length of the surface. This is surface tension. Definition is important. And the unit for surface tension are dynes per centimeter, okay, or Newton per meter. Okay, so the unit of the surface will be dynes per centimeter or Newton per meter. Okay, so Newton per meter will be in SI system. So this is surface tension. Understood? Yes, boys, tell me, understood or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, next is surface energy. Our next topic is surface energy. Now, suppose we want to increase the surface of the molecule. Suppose here, volume, that means the amount of water I have taken, that is suppose 10 milliliter. Suppose 10 milliliter. Here the volume is V1. So when we'll take another beaker where volume is V2, then the same amount of water I have taken over here, the same amount of water, that is 10 ml. So here surface will be increasing. Okay, here surface of the same amount of water will increase. Okay, surface of the same amount of water will increase. So because of the increase, okay, because of the increase of the surface, the molecule from the bulk will have to come to the surface. Otherwise, how it will increase? Okay, no new molecule can water generate, right? It cannot generate new molecule. So obviously from the bulk, from the bulk from here, water have to come to surface. When a molecule from the bulk want to come to the surface, it have to overcome the intermolecular force of energy. Okay, so the energy which is required, to take one water molecule to the surface, or we can say that the energy required to increase the surface area of the liquid by 1 unit is called surface energy. Okay, let's see what is surface energy. See, surface energy. The work in surface energy, okay, work per centimeter, surface energy is dyne per centimeter. That means the energy which is required to increase the surface by 1 unit. Okay, surface energy is, we can say, the energy, okay, the energy which is required. Just a second.
The states of matter only.
Yeah, it is states of matter from. It is from that chapter only. Okay, surface energy is the energy which is required. The energy which is required to increase the surface by 1 unit. Okay, the energy which is required to increase the surface by 1 unit is actually known as surface energy. Okay, so this is actually the surface tension and surface energy. Now, due to the surface tension, okay, because of the surface tension, always all the water molecule, or can say all the liquid molecule, want to have a spherical shape. They always want to have a spherical shape. They always want to have the spherical shape because the sphere have the minimum energy. If we consider other shapes also, okay, if we consider other shapes also, the sphere will have the minimum energy. The sphere will have the minimum energy. Okay, now the thing is that these are the things, and one important thing is that effect of temperature. That is also important. That is effect of temperature on surface tension. Okay, surface tension decreases with rise in temperature. Surface tension decreases. See, surface tension decreases with temperature increases, because when temperature increases, kinetic energy of the molecule increases. When temperature increases, kinetic energy of the molecule increases. And when kinetic energy of the molecule increases, then what happens? And the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecule will decrease. And that's why, as intermolecular force of attraction and surface tension are, you can say, related to each other. So as intermolecular force of attraction increases, intermolecular force of attraction decreases, means surface tension also decreases. Clear? Clear or not, boys?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next is capillary action. Next is capillary action. Okay. So capillary tubes are actually very small diameter tube, very small. Okay, its diameter is like okay, yes, its diameter is like the diameter of a hair. So when we suppose we take a jar where water has taken, in the jar I have put one capillary tube. What I will observe that the water is rising slowly into the capillary tube. Okay, it will reach a height, then stop. Then water will not increase the height. Okay, the height will remain stop. So why this is happening? This is a very small diameter tube. So actually, because of the surface tension, and because of the surface tension, they are always, the molecules from the surface or just above the surface, they always feel an inward pull, right? And this surface tension and this inward pull actually help the water molecule or the liquid to the goes to the capillary tube, and they will rise slowly. Okay, so actually we can say that the rise of liquid in a capillary is due to the inward pull. Okay, because always all the liquid from the surface will feel an inward pull, and and this inward pull is because of the surface tension, and a surface tension acting on the surface which pushes the liquid into the capillary tube. This phenomenon actually very important. Okay, for example, water below the surface from the earth rises to the plant. That means plant absorb the water. Okay, the plant absorb the water through the roots. Okay, oil rises into the wick of the oil lamp, ink rises in the blotting paper, are all the examples of capillary action. So capillary actions have very important phenomena. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Miss.
Now, liquid weights the thing. Now, liquid weight things because they try to spread across the surface. Okay, when it's flow, it always try to spread across the surface. So it always actually want to spread across the surface. Okay, so we can say that the liquid always have a tendency to spread and it always have a tendency to weight the things. Yes, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next is viscosity. Next is viscosity. So what is viscosity actually? That, let's see, there are a few common examples that water can flow easily, but oil cannot flow easily. Water can flow very easily, just like kerosene oil can flow very easily. But if we take mustard oil, they cannot flow easily. If we take glycerine, they're very thick, they cannot flow easily. So what is viscosity actually? Actually, we can say viscosity. Okay, the internal resistance to flow possessed by a liquid is called viscosity. Okay, the internal resistance to flow process, that means we can say, let us explain it. Okay, suppose we are considering and see actually strong intermolecular forces are acting between molecules and hold them together strongly. In case of liquid, strong intermolecular forces attraction are there and hold them strongly, and therefore resist the movement of the layer parts from one another. Okay, the cause of different rates of flow of liquids may be you can easily understand that suppose these are the layer of the liquid. Liquids are flowing by various layers. So these are the layer of the liquid. See, suppose this is the one layer. This is the another layer. In this way, by the layer, liquids are flowing. Okay, so the
In
layer,
layers of what?
layers of liquid, various layers. Okay, suppose this layer is attached with the surface of something from where it is flowing. Suppose water are flowing through the flow. Water is flowing through the flow. So suppose this is the lowest layer which is in contact with the flow. This layer is contact with the floor, and this layer is actually its velocity is 0. Okay, this layer is actually remain almost stationary. Sorry, this layer is actually remain almost stationary. the second layer moves a little bit faster from the last layer. Or we are considering it a first layer. Okay, so the second layer actually move faster a little bit from the first layer. Third layer again move little bit faster from the second layer. In this way, the velocity or is increasing, gradually it is increasing. The velocity increase gradually. And okay, so in this way, the velocity is increasing gradually, layer by layer, layer by layer. Okay, so that's we can say that in a liquid, each successive layers moves with gradually increasing speed. Each successive layers moved with gradually increasing speed. Okay, that means we can say that different layer in a liquid move over one another with a different speed in the direction of the flow. This layer, suppose, will flow with velocity v. This is for velocity v plus 1. This is for velocity v plus flow. Okay, sorry, v plus 2. Okay, that means each layer moving in the direction of the flow in different speed. Okay, this type of flow in which there is a regular gradation of the velocity in passing from one layer to another layer. Okay, regular gradation of velocity. Regular gradation. Regular gradation of velocity. Okay, from one layer to another layer, that is actually known as laminar flow. That is actually known as laminar flow. Very important. Laminar flow. Now, in case of liquid, intermolecular force of attraction is present. So because of the force of this intermolecular attraction, suppose if I consider this middle layer, okay, this layer, the layer just below it, try to decrease the force of this layer, middle layer, and the above layer try to increase the force of the middle layer. So two actually act has been taking place at the same time. The first layer actually, okay, the first layer is actually try to decrease the layer of the second, okay, and the third layer actually try to increase the speed of the second layer. So that means there is a difference in the velocity gradients. So from that we can understand the viscosity. Let's see, again I'm drawing the diagram. Okay, suppose it have velocity v minus dv. Okay, it has velocity v, and this layer have velocity v plus dv, and the distance between the layer will be, suppose, dx. Okay, so if the velocity of the layer at the distance dx, okay, if the velocity of the layer distance dx is changed by the value dv, then velocity gradient, then the velocity gradient will be dv by dx. See, this is the v, this is the middle layer is for v. Middle layer has velocity v. In the dx distance, the velocity is changed by plus dv minus dv. So that's why the velocity gradient will be dx by dv. Okay, now we know that a force will be required. Okay, a force is required to maintain the flow of the layers. Without the force, it cannot flow easily. That means a force is required to maintain the flow. and the force required to maintain the flow of the 3 layers is directly proportional. Okay, the force which maintain the flow of this 3 layer is directly proportional to the area of the contact. To the area of the contact and velocity gradient, sorry. And velocity gradient. Okay, so F is proportional to A, F is proportional to dV by dx. This is the area of the contact. This is the velocity gradient. So A is the area of the contact. This is velocity gradient. Okay, so we can say that F is equal to eta, this is eta, A dV by dx, where eta is equals to proportionality constant. Okay, it is proportionality constant. Eta is equals to proportionality constant. So, or you can say this eta also coefficient of viscosity. Coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so if F equals to eta, and when F is equal to eta, when A is equal to 1 and dV by dx equals to 1, when this is equals to 1, this is equals to 1, then we can say F equals to eta. So that means what? Viscosity coefficient is the force when viscosity gradient is unity and area of contact is unity. Viscosity coefficient equals to force when area is unity and viscosity gradient is unity. Now, units of viscosity. Units of viscosity. So we know that F equals to eta A dV by dx. That means eta is equals to what? F by A dx by dV. F means what? Force. Force is what? Dynes into centimeter. And area is centimeter square into velocity gradient will be what? Centimeter per second. So dynes centimeter per square second. This quantity is also known as poise. This quantity is also known as poise. Okay, and so we can say that this quantity, that 9 centimeter square per second, is also known as poise. Okay, and we can also say that, see, force is equal to what? Mass into per unit area. So eta is equals to, we can write m into A into dx, A into dV from here, from this equation, this one. So m is what? Gram into centimeter second square, then centimeter divided by A is what? Centimeter square, that is the area, and velocity gradient is what? Centimeters per second. So that means we can say gram per centimeter per second. This gram per centimeter per second is equals to 1 poise. So we can say that 1 poise is equals to gram per centimeter per second. Okay, clear? Yes or no, boys? And the next is viscosity is depend on two things: nature of liquids. Okay, nature of liquids, as well as it is depend on effect of temperature. Nature of liquids. If the intermolecular force of attraction between the liquids is very high, then the viscosity will be high. Just like the viscosity of water is very small, rather than if we consider the viscosity of glycerin is very high. And effect of temperature is just same like surface tension. If we increase the temperature, kinetic force increases and intermolecular force decreases. So obviously viscosity will also decreases. Yes, understood? Any confusion, boys?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.